While Washington wrangles with AI policy, one biotech firm is using it to improve cancer screening. Guardant Health's stock right now, as you can see, is moving up more than 5%. The company reported second quarter revenue that beat estimates. The company also raised their full year outlook, driven by results from Shield. That's its blood test for colon cancer. Shield screening revenue more than tripled to $53 million from just a year ago. Joining me now is Guardant Health's co-founder and co-CEO, Helmy Eltoukhy. And thank you so much, Helmy, for being with me. I want to start with, there's so much I want to get into, in AI, of course, in cancer detections, but talk about the fact that this blood test has really become so successful for you. And now United Health is partnering with you, and they're going to be covering the cost of it.
Yeah, no, it's really been fantastic to see the progress that we've made with Shield. It's been one of the most successful diagnostic launches in history. And when you think about what it's able to do, there are 50,000 Americans that are unfortunately going to die from colon cancer. 50 million of them, 50 million of the 120 million that should be screened are not screened today. And so it's a huge problem right now that exists, that essentially the existing tools such as colonoscopy, such as stool testing, are just not being used. And so having a simple blood test that can come in, can detect cancer at very high rates, colon cancer at very high rates, has been a huge godsend in terms of really fighting this battle against sort of unscreened cancers. And we think this test is going to make a huge dent in terms of really bending mortality curves when it comes to colon cancer. If you find colon cancer in the early stage setting, it has a 90% cure rate. So it's one of the fastest ways to really to cut screening, to cut mortality down. And so this is why Medicare covers it. We have United Health, which recently covered it. So we now have about 70 million Americans out of the 120 million Americans who should be screened now that are covered by their health plans for Shield.
And you've said that the Infinity AI platform that you have at your firm is one of the most underappreciated, pieces of your business, and that you're saying, well, maybe the street's getting it wrong a little bit. But you have more than that. You've also got this multi-cancer detection tool that you're now selling in Asia. Talk about that, because that's multiple cancers in one blood test. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, so that's what's really exciting about what we're doing as a company, is the fact that we have multiple franchises that are all growing extremely rapidly, and each one of the tests we have generates gigabytes of information. And so we use advanced biochemistry to unlock the DNA from your blood that may be coming from disease or may be coming from a cancer, advanced sequencing technology, and then AI on the back end. And because we're comprehensively looking at so many things in the blood, now it's this big machine learning problem. The more data we accrue, the more clinical outcomes we accrue, we can start essentially adding additional indications to the same test, just like, for instance, Tesla does with over-the-air updates. And so we went from detecting just colon cancer a couple years ago to now adding 9 more cancers to the same test. So breast cancer, colon cancer, gastric cancer, and so on, many of them that don't have screening today.
Let's talk about the quarter. Your stock hitting a new 52-week high today. I mean, really incredible the way it's performed. It's up 250% over the last year. But it's profits. You're going to get questioned on being profitable. When do you expect that to happen?
Yeah, we've guided towards Q4 of 2027, so less than 18 months away.
Okay. Let's also talk about kind of the bigger macro backdrop with healthcare in general, because obviously under this new administration with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the FDA, how that department, that agency works is a key part of your success story, along with your competitors and anybody else in that space. Marty McCary, of course, has left the agency. Did that change in any way how you're working with the FDA, and how do you feel about the new leadership now that you're partnering with there?
No, it's been very smooth. I can say, we just got 2 FDA approvals in the last quarter, one on a test for a late-stage patient and one on Shield, a more advanced version of the workflow for that test. And so they've been very responsive and very pleasant to work with. So we've really enjoyed the partnership with the FDA.
You have competition, and Tara is one of the names that you compete with. What is next for you? What is the next stage of development for you?
Yeah, it's interesting. When you take a step back, we've been at this now for 14 years. We launched the world's first clinical liquid biopsy, which is what this space is called in terms of detecting cancer through a tube of blood. We essentially have pioneered and trailblazed 3 successfully larger markets. So if you think about the first market that we launched, that was 1 million late-stage cancer patients, helping them get matched to therapies rather than needing an invasive biopsy. We then launched products for cancer survivors. There are 15 million of them in the US. We help detect recurrence in those individuals, giving them peace of mind. Shield addresses 120 million Americans who should be screened for early detection of cancer. And then what's next? With this huge machine learning sort of database we have with 1.3 million sort of individuals that have been tested, we think we can take Shield and we can take this blood testing beyond cancer. We think we can do multi-disease screening, where you could have almost an everything blood test at your annual physical that not only detects multiple cancers, but potentially detects cardiovascular disease, inflammatory disease like rheumatoid arthritis, endometriosis, and many others as well. So it's really exciting. We have about 500 diseases in our database now, and it's just been really amazing sort of toolbox and sandbox for our AI researchers to really start modeling these things and start detecting them. So the future looks very, very bright. And that last market is a $300 billion opportunity. So one of the largest potential market opportunities in healthcare today.
Absolutely. It's all coming from a simple blood test. It is pretty extraordinary. Before I let you go, I mean, it really is incredible what AI is doing in healthcare in general. Talk about the importance of AI with just the industry in detecting disease. Having an AI tool that can go over a scan and maybe catch something that a human set of eyes cannot.
There's no doubt that AI is making huge progress. I think that one of the challenges has been access, has been some of the business models, commercialization, reimbursement. But now that you have embedded tools like ours, like companies that are doing AI for scans and radiographic imaging, you really have that leverage point that is, for the first time, really being part of the healthcare space like we've seen in other tech sectors. And if you look at, for instance, where our test started to where it is today, we're generating 100 times the data per test than we did 10 years ago. And data, as we know, is the fuel that makes AI work. And so historically, healthcare has been very data starved. But now we're generating data in huge quantities. And so it's been exciting now to really let AI work on that data that's being unlocked.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, this is about saving lives, the work that you're doing. Helmy Eltoukhy,
100%.
Thank you for being with us. Congratulations on the quarter.
Yeah, thank you, Cheryl.
All right.